Good morning. Welcome to the Premium Public Video Forecast discussion for Friday, June 2nd, 2023. It's the first weekend of summer, meteorological summer. At least to me, it's summer. And wouldn't you know it, it's also the start of hurricane season. We got our first tropical depression of the season. It's official. It's tropical depression number 2. Now, you might be saying, well, what happened to 1? That happened in January when we kind of went back and the NHC said, hey, this is actually a tropical low. Or subtropical low. So that's 1. Now we're on number 2. And number 2 is, well, not looking very healthy. You know when a tropical system is not looking healthy when you can see the low level circulation, okay? So what that typically means is that we have a lot of shear going on in the atmosphere. And that shear is basically ripping all your strong thunderstorms off to the northeast, right around here. So when that happens, it basically makes the whole circulation slanted. So as a result, it's not very well organized. It's basically an engine that's being choked off. So this tropical depression will continue to drift to the south under that strong shear, under the directional winds. Not expected to strengthen all that much. It could touch tropical storm strength between now and the next 12 hours. After 12 hours, the potential for any further strengthening is going to be basically near zero, based on all the data that we're seeing. And what's really cool is that you can see the upper level winds here. When you take a look at this data right here, you can see we are clearly within a trough in the subtropical jet stream. Okay, so our tropical low formed right about here, and it formed right in this weakness area right here. So that kind of tells you just how warm the waters are down there, and I think it's going to be a thing we're going to hear a lot as we move on through the summer with the warm Atlantic. Little tropical low pressure systems get themselves organized, and then they get ripped apart by these strong upper level winds. So what's happening is that our trough is marching along in the subtropical jet stream, and this portion of the jet stream is basically going to rip this storm apart. So any further development, like I said, is going to be right in this window right here, where the winds are a little bit weaker. And then when this comes in, it'll just kill it. And that's that. So we're not expecting for any further development. No threat to Florida as this drifts down towards Cuba and basically becomes a remnant low. But it will probably enhance a little bit of the showers and thunderstorms on the western side of the Florida Peninsula. If you're heading down there, you have any friends and family down there, could be some flash flooding just to keep an eye on. Meanwhile, the story for our weather pattern really stands out right before us. Upper level low, upper level low, upper level low, all to our north. To the south, our subtropical jet stream is marching along, very active, and we are caught in between. And in this setup here, and it shows up really nicely here on the water vapor satellite picture, we set up our backdoor cold front. Okay, now what typically happens is that you get this trough in the Canadian Maritimes, which you can start to see digging once again. And what that does is that it sends a maritime air mass southward. But it also enhances all this dry air. You see all this sinking air that's taking place? That's going to really spike our temperatures and push us to summer-like temperatures outside of Long Island. Okay, Long Island, you'll be in the 70s and 80s. Away from Long Island, lower to mid-90s. So it is definitely going to be a rather toasty day out there, and you could thank this sinking air that is taking shape over the region. At the same time, with this cold front coming in, and we do have some moisture coming in also on the back end here, we can see it's going to support the potential for some isolated showers and thunderstorms tonight, late this evening into tonight. So if you have plans of going out, well, you're going to have to really keep an eye on that. With the potential for those showers and thunderstorms, you're going to notice on the radar more bark than bite. What do I mean by that? Well, with all this dry air, not only at the mid-levels, but also at the surface, it's going to eat away at some of these thunderstorms. So the model data looks pretty impressive, but I think that reality is going to be a little bit drier. So let's take a look at some of our model data. Now, again, just a reminder, we are under the influence of a developing El Nino, and you can see the influence of that under convection here, okay? Whenever you get convection around the date line, that means we're more likely to see a trough around our neck of the woods here, as it enhances the polar jet stream and subtropical jet stream. So El Nino is getting organized and getting very well established here, and you can see the SOI is just tanking here in the monthly and seasonal values. Again, look at the daily values. They're also going negative for the most part. So everything is developing full swing. Okay, so that's definitely in place. Our upper level winds, you can see that vertical wind shear to the south. Meanwhile, our neck of the woods, you can see that upper level low and trough digging and the northerly winds at all levels of the atmosphere transporting that maritime air mass right into our neck of the woods. You can see it in 500 millibar pattern here. Again, here's the theme. And the good news is that forecasting wise is pretty easy. Same trough, same setup, same evolution taking shape here with this trough. So you can see that evolution clearly taking place here with this pattern. It's not changing anytime soon. The various other models support that. We're going to remain in this scenario of this type of pattern through at least mid-June. So if you like, on average, below normal temperatures, and you're going to love this weather pattern. With that, you're going to get these little short waves dropping in, and that's why we have that threat for isolated showers and thunderstorms tonight, tomorrow, all the way on through the weekend, with these upper level lows and troughs dropping through the area. But you can see, in terms of 850 millibar temperatures, very cool for this time of year. Plenty of maritime air. Now, one thing to just keep in mind with the surface temperatures, a lot of this is going to have to do with mixing. So if you get enough sunshine during the day and you get enough mixing, you're going to be a little bit warmer. If you get more cloud cover, if you're under the area of lower clouds, let's say in the morning, you're going to end up being on the cooler side of this forecast. So just keep that in mind as we look at the next 7 days. On our radar and surface map, you can clearly see high pressures in control here. Here's our cold front getting ready to drop down. You might sense a little bit of a smoky feel to the atmosphere, especially in central and southern New Jersey. This time, not because of Canada, but because we have a forest fire down here in southern New Jersey. You can see that smoke kind of puffing in. So you might sense a little bit of a smell of burning wood out there. And of course, we also have the influence from the Canadian wildfires as well, still lingering about the region. So you might notice that. So let's dive into our forecast. So first, I want to talk about the threat for these thunderstorms. Again, I think the radar is going to produce more bark than bite here, but a few of these thunderstorms could produce a brief heavy downpour late in the evening after 9 p.m., especially over the interior where we're a little bit closer to that upper level low, so you get a little bit more lifting. And over the next 90 hours, for today, again, temperatures are going to be spiking quite a bit. Upper 70s to mid 80s on Long Island, upper 80s to lower 90s along the rest of the coast, lower to mid 90s everywhere else. It is going to feel like summer, and then you get slapped in the face tonight with that backdoor cold front. Again, notice these showers and thunderstorms dropping south, they're not going to have a lot of support, and there's going to be a limitation on how much they can actually develop, but there is that threat for a brief heavy downpour. Temperatures will fall off tonight into the lower to mid 50s over the interior, lower to mid 50s along the coast. I'm sorry, should I say lower to mid 60s throughout the region for lows tonight. For tomorrow morning, we have variable cloud cover and a few isolated showers. And tomorrow afternoon, with that marine air mass in place, much cooler, much cooler. We're looking at high temperatures ranging from the upper 60s to lower 70s along the coast, mid to upper 70s in the Delaware River Valley, and mid to upper 70s over the interior. So we do away with the 90s if we get that marine air mass back in. On Sunday, rinse and repeat. Variable cloud cover with the threat for a few isolated showers. Much cooler this time with the much stronger maritime air mass in place. Looking for low temperatures in the lower to mid 50s. High temperatures will range from the upper 60s to lower 70s on Long Island, mid to upper 70s along the coast, upper 70s to lower 80s in the Delaware River Valley, and mid to upper 70s over the interior. By Monday, same scenario. Same setup with a maritime air mass in place with variable cloud cover, a few isolated showers. Low temperatures will range from the upper 40s to lower 50s over the interior, lower to mid 50s along the coast. High temperatures will range from the lower to mid 70s over the northern interior, upper 70s to lower 80s in the Delaware River Valley, and lower to mid 70s along the coast. Tuesday and Wednesday, and Thursday, we'll throw Thursday in there as well. Same scenario. We're going to have troughs hanging around the region with isolated to widely scattered showers, variable cloud cover, the same maritime air mass in place. Low temperatures through the period will range from the upper mid 40s to lower 50s over the northern interior, lower to mid 50s along the coast. High temperatures will range from the mid 60s to lower 70s over the northern interior, mid 60s to lower 70s along the coast, and mid 70s to lower 80s in the Delaware River Valley. Now, why that range? Like I said again, if we get more cloud cover, we're going to remain on the cooler side of that forecast. If we get more sunshine, then we'll be able to mix more and allow those temperatures to spike. And then on Friday, high pressure will generally be in control, but watch out for a few isolated showers with a trough hanging around the region, especially over the interior, but for the most part, a tranquil day with low temperatures in the upper 40s to lower 50s and high temperatures ranging, once again, from the lower to mid 70s along the coast and mid to upper 70s away from the coast. That is your forecast discussion for today. I hope you enjoyed this premium public video discussion. If you're interested in more data like this every day, definitely check out the premium consulting membership. You can see up top there. And as always, stay safe out there.